everyone, it's Wednesday, October 11th, and this is the first edition of ETV Magazine for the year. I'm Sam Diebler.
And I'm Lexi Cuban. Let's get started. Dr. Christy Meyer has made some changes within the school that went into effect at the start of the school year.
That's right, Lexi, and one change affected all incoming freshmen. Reporter Tyler Bowles talked to Dr. Meyer, and here's what he found out.
There were many changes to the school this year, and one of those changes was a new required class for freshmen.
Our hope was to establish a class that would help freshmen establish some of the routines and procedures that they would need to be successful high school students.
This course helps the freshmen form better habits for themselves, which they will need in their high school career.
Manage your time better, and it also teaches you how to deal with harder situations that you might deal with in your future years. It teaches you a lot about how to get prepared for high school.
It'll help me get all my notes down, just get the most out of my classes. Just prepare you for high school and be able to get your work done and help you with your time management skills.
But what I foresee is that we will continue it because it has been very positive.
For ETV Magazine, I am Tyler Bowles.
Thanks, Tyler. Hey, Sam, besides the changes to the school, isn't there a new counselor this year?
That's right, and she just happens to be a graduate from Goddard High School. Reporter Makai Winch talked to the new addition to the counseling department and found out how she's doing here at Tiger Nation.
EHS has seen some changes this year, and one of those changes includes a new counselor.
I hope to bring my optimism or my positive attitude. I think students and staff and just, it helps the overall environment at school. I've wanted to come to EHS for quite a while. I graduated from Goddard High School and just knew that I would always want to come back to the district. And when I heard that the school split, I knew EHS would be a great place to be.
Students and staff seemed very excited about the new counselor.
Yes, I think that Cece has already proven herself to be beneficial to EHS. She fits into our culture very well. She's very fun and very driven and very passionate and does what's best for kids.
For ETV Magazine, I'm Makai Winch.
For our next story, school officials decided to hold a crisis drill recently to test out reaction times and to in general get students and staff better prepared if the unthinkable happens. Teachers were asked to get their students out of sight, stay quiet, and for everybody to stay off their cell phones. The drill did not last too long and was considered a success overall.
Let's move on, Sam. What do you want to talk about?
What about our marching band?
Good topic. The band had their ups and downs this year, but despite that, the band's been working pretty hard day and night to make their show the best it can be.
They often practice really early on Saturday mornings and often stay late on Monday nights.
Reporter Braden Leibarger gets you an inside look on the Tiger Marching Band.
The band put in a lot of work this year. They trained in the summer, having summer instrumental sessions for each section, band camps, and more. All the time they put in comes down to their competitions.
Basically, I expect them to do their best job and produce what they've been working so hard on in class and at rehearsals.
Practicing for hours in the morning, and then it's just a ton of practice. That's all you can really do.
For competition weeks, they have set things they do before they go to the actual competition.
Usually the day before, we usually do full run-throughs and stuff and really focus on trying to get a good run-through in. The morning before a competition, we have about an hour or two long rehearsal, really early in the morning, so then we can be sure we can get a good run-through in for the day.
A lot goes into the process of actually making a show for their competitions and performing on Friday nights.
Teach them the music, they learn the music, and then they memorize the music. And then we give them coordinate sheets which tell them where they are on the field based on the yard lines and the hashes. And they learn where they go and how to get there from previous destinations. And then we practice with them moving and not playing and just counting. And then we add the music in and we just repeat it over and over until it's ingrained.
For ETV Magazine, I am Braden Leibarger.
Nice job, Braden. Being in the marching band does sound tough.
Our next story stays in the music area, but this time it's about vocal music. I had a chance to talk with a few people associated with the Madrigals.
The Madrigals are a select group of singers at Eisenhower. There's much more to Madrigals than what's in the classroom.
A madrigal is somebody who's not only able to sing the music, but also is willing to be friendly to all the others, in different choirs, be a good example, and be able to represent Eisenhower the way we should be represented.
Madrigals is a smaller group, so I feel you can get more in depth and you're more of a family, so it's a lot tighter knit.
There are high standards to being a madrigal, and there are a couple of requirements before being able to join.
Anybody who wants to be in a select singing group has to audition. The students who score high enough and then have eligibility to have 2 choir classes are considered for madrigals.
You have to be able to read music, do your scales.
You have to go through an audition. You need to
sing a few pitches, read a little bit of music. As long as you can read some music and you have a great tone of voice, then you're in.
The group also travels to various places to show what they can do.
We do go to competitions always at the end of the year. We also go around and volunteer sing at different places.
We travel to different places to sing, not like far away, but local.
For ETV Magazine, I'm Lexi Cuban.
Really looks like they work hard at what they love to do.
I agree, but I still have a little more to share. The improv team does multiple shows throughout the year. I went down to the stage to find out what it takes to be on this creative team.
The team has been a fun tradition for Eisenhower in the past and was continued in the first show of the year.
Actually, it was something when I took on the position when I was at Goddard High School that they already had in place was an improv team. I know it was something the students communicated to me that they really enjoyed and they really wanted to make sure I kept that, and I honored that because I thought, of course, if that's something they're really passionate about, then we should definitely do it, and that's why it's still going on, but I also enjoy it.
The shows are laid back and the actors as well as the audience always have a good time.
Let's stay down on the stage for our next story about the fall play. Drama teacher Danielle Boxa said she thought the play went well and certainly had a nice turnout for the performances. She said the actors did a pretty good job with their roles. She said there weren't any huge gaps or long pauses during the performances, and if there were any mistakes, they were able to keep moving forward. Next story up is about the soccer team. They've been doing very well this year. Part of that success is due in part to the new head coach from Dayton, Ohio. I recently went down to the pitch to learn more about the soccer team.
Eisenhower's boys soccer team has a new head coach this season. This change has led to a new style of play for the Tigers.
He's doing a lot more skilled practices, emphasizes pressure on the front line.
I think he's pushing us to be like more of a high-pressure team.
That's definitely the biggest change we've made. Instead of sitting back and letting other teams keep the ball and attack us, we are always on the attack.
These changes and a fast start to the season have led to many players being very optimistic about the team's chances in postseason play.
Team goals is to win league, never lose at home.
Honestly, we could probably win 1 or 2 games in the state tournament.
I think we're good enough to make it to state.
However, the new head coach is not satisfied with the team's strong start.
Even though we're winning, I'm not satisfied. The kids would tell you the same exact thing. I'm not happy with their performance a lot of the times. So in a sense, yes, they've met my expectations, but at the same time, I have way higher expectations for this group.
Next up, it's about hitting it over the net. The volleyball team was off to a shaky start, but the players have now found their groove and have been playing better ever since. Lainey Castens told us that the team is adjusting to their new offense, but are still performing the best they can. The team is led by seniors Bailey Hickle, Lainey Castens, and Riley Jackson.
Next up, we have football. The team picked up a new offensive coordinator this year. He works with the offense, of course, but spends most of his time with the offensive line, which has improved a lot from last season.
Reporter Jared Oberlechner goes down to the field to show you what this new coach brought to the offensive line.
When most players think of a star player on a football team, they don't go straight to the offensive line. This year, it's different.
You know, you just have to accept your role that, in my opinion, you're the most important guys on the field, and yet you're the guys that get the least amount of recognition, if that makes any sense. You know, everybody knows the quarterback's names and the running backs and the receivers that get all the yards, but, you know, if the O-line doesn't block, nothing else works. And the only time people notice them is when they get called for a penalty or do something wrong, right? And so you're a guy that doesn't get a lot of credit behind the scenes, but within our own locker room, we know that they're as important as anybody, probably the most important unit we have in the entire team.
The attitude of the offensive line seemed to change from years past.
The attitude is you just want to bury the guy across from you. No matter what, you just want to put him in the dirt.
You just can't take any crap. You just got to be fierce. Yeah, go up there and be physical.
In addition to their attitude, the offensive line has been the biggest and strongest ever in years.
Physical up front and just fast and dangerous.
Honestly, could be 10 times bigger than we were last year. Our O-line, we're averaging 6'6", 295, which 2 years ago, I was the biggest lineman on the team, and now I'm one of the smallest.
For ETV Magazine, I'm Jared Oberlechner.
Let's not forget about our other sports, of course.
You're right, Sam. Let's start off with the cross-country team. They've been doing fairly well this year. The team is led by juniors this year due to the fact that the team doesn't have any seniors on varsity. Head coach Jeff Taylor said the team is struggling a bit this year due to the fact that the top runners haven't performed at their best yet. They hope to do well in the postseason. Next, we have the girls golf team, who is going through a little bit of a change this year, losing all their state qualifiers from last year's team and are a young team. Coach Hartzog said it has been a fairly disappointing year. They haven't done well at their competitions and they still haven't been able to improve. The team still hopes to be competitive and is led by senior Hannah Prince and junior Karsten Klein.
Last but not least, we have girls tennis, who have also lost all their state qualifiers, which results in them being a young team. Coach Brad Zupke has told his players to stay positive in their matches when they're down and keep going when they're up. The team is led by senior Bailey Beecham and junior Alex Taylor.
That wraps up the first edition of ETV Magazine for the school year.
Make sure to follow us on Twitter at Ike Sports News. For ETV Magazine and I Like Ike Productions, I'm Sam Diebler.
And I'm Lexi Cuban.
We will see you next time.